Okay, so this is a guide for what I do in Dry Lagoon. I feel like this video is necessary just because it's applicable to people of all skill levels, unless you're already a Rouge guru. It's coming from someone who's second place in the Dry Lagoon X25, so I know what I'm talking about. This is a guide for what I do that's got me to second place. And this really is useful for everyone. I see people resetting on Dry Lagoon all the time because it is the first big reset point of Dark Story. It's a big reason why Dark Story isn't very welcoming. I think just everyone would benefit from a video like this. I'm not going to go through the whole level, I'm just going to say all the things that will just drastically improve your success rate at getting out of Dry Lagoon. So first of all, what to do right at the start. There are 5 free pieces in total that I look for. There's one right here called a coconut. It's a piece 2. Now I'm going to leave the cursor just there because you'll see a small problem. The banner covers it. You can just about see it though, like with your peripheral vision. But let me show you what I do when I start the level. I hold both camera triggers. What this does is this shows me the top of the grandstand. Oops. Can I hold both? There we go. So there are 2 free pieces on top. There's one. They're both called. They're both called on the biggest turtle shell. One's moving around and it starts like there, so it's clear as day. Sticks out like a sore thumb. There's another on the middle that's static, that's quite low down, and because of how awkward this one is to see, you're probably faced with a trade-off. Like, do you look for this one and the moving one, or do you look for this one and the moving one? I'm at a point now where I can look for all 3, but like you need eagle eyes, honestly, just because of you really can't allow yourself much time to look at that if you want to look at this as well. I'd recommend prioritising this one over this, but if I were to demonstrate a start where you can see all 3, it would go like this. There. So, like, I was able to see all 3 just by doing that. So yeah, anyway, you glide, jump and glide, land, read the sign, kick down, and you'll be able to see a piece right here called by the giant's chair. That's the 4th free piece, and then the final one is as you're running, the camera will pan. This isn't a good example because of where I was. There. There's another piece right there called a coconut. That's also piece 2. Same as by the giant's chair. That's it. Those are the 5 free pieces. If you read the hint, it's in the big oasis, and there are no free pieces, my advice is to reset. That's what I do. So you can't pause before like 1.82 seconds anyway. So looking for all these 5 pieces will take you to about 2.0 to 2.1 seconds. Definitely what you want to be doing. I see a lot of people, they'll take, well, even myself before I started having such aggressive reset strats, you'll take, like on the ledge with 3 red circles or something, you'll come back and there's the top piece 2. This literally eradicates top piece 2s. Unless the free piece you are taking is a piece 3, because piece 1 and piece 2 can't both spawn in the small oasis. It's impossible, they're too close together. So this, apart from if you get a free piece, eradicates top piece 2s. And your Dry Lagoon times are going to improve. RTA, if you're only in this for the X25s, they'll probably still improve as well. Like I've got better RTA times than I have without aggressive reset strats, just because of, like, you've got to make your own luck in these kind of levels. Just get rid of top piece 2s. Quick thing, if you do reset, you then can pause immediately once you've started again. So what I do is I do the checks, but I get to here. So I start turning the camera a little bit earlier. And I turn the camera in 2 installments, because if the camera doesn't, if it stays behind you, it'll pan just like it did doing the initial 3-piece checks, if I turn it a bit so it doesn't pan and then turn it again, you can clearly see where by the giant's chair is. So in 1.5 seconds, or 1.6, you've seen 4 of the 3 pieces and read the hint. If once again there's no 3 pieces and it's in Big Oasis, I say reset. I say it's not worth the extra half a second to look for a coconut piece 2 on the right. Maybe you believe it is worth it. If so, go for that. Personally, I don't. So just to demonstrate again. Oh, by the way, it's clear as day, a coconut without the banner at the start, so don't worry about that. You can clearly see all of them. I suppose I should do this. So yeah, it's not there, not there. I actually didn't do it properly then. So we saw that a piece was there. I'm still going to check there. I shouldn't do. I was checking there just for the purpose of this, like you saw what I was doing. But you saw the piece on top of, what do you call it? The dome. So this is a Big Oasis piece, but I'm going to take that and this is completely fine. Or was it by a foot of a shell? Okay, in this situation, the best play is to definitely read a hint on the ground. If you've got our piece 3, so a 3-piece, so your piece 1 is in the Big Oasis, there's a chance you've got a top piece 2. It's the only chance you've got a top piece 2. If you're already high up, like if it's one of these 2 pieces, you might as well go over to the 3-head wall, because a lot of pieces around here, but if you're on ground level, like where we were just, read a hint here, and yeah, it's a top piece 2. But here's a big thing for 3 pieces. So protect with the pond, yeah, that's up here. So I'm going to check for a 3-piece here, the one in the water, and the one that's just here. It's not there. You always want to be checking for those pieces. Say you get something like blue striped head. So you go up, you'd get the piece. You'd still want to check for them. You absolutely 100% of the time want to check for those pieces. So wherever you're coming from, like pull in front of the wall, yeah, the turtle's a bit, I don't know what word to say here, janky, but you definitely in all situations want to be looking for those 2 pieces when you come back. You'll notice I'm not checking for pieces such as Stone Statue's Treasure, just because that's a piece 2. You're never going to get that. I've literally, since taking these real strats, never got this one. Like, it can't spawn within this piece 3, so you're never going to get it. A jar between the 3 stakes, you get that sometimes. That can spawn with the top piece 3s. Because you're never going to see a top piece 2 in there unless you've taken a 3-piece 3 and the piece 1's in the Big Oasis. And so, like, this one's too close, you get a lot of top piece 2s. Jar 3 stakes you get. Obviously, oh wait, Ballet Dance Chair doesn't count. A coconut you won't get. I think the only one on ground level that you can get actually is Jar and 3 stakes, so that's quite a lucky piece if you ever see that one. But yeah, so protect with the pond. Let's just pretend we just got it. So we come down, check for the piece that's there. Oh wait, we didn't need to, we already did that. Okay, so pretend we've got so it's somewhere on the 3-head wall. We're going to want to check for 3 pieces. Okay, so in that motion we just check for all 3 of them. Circling between the small sun, between the suns here and between the suns here, there are actually 2 of them. So it's definitely worth checking because like there's 2 of them, there's double of them. Just 2 big kicks will do it. Done. And you're at the right height to get them if you do see them. Now here's a thing. Here's a really big thing actually. So say we got piece 1 in the other Oasis. Piece 2 is like I don't know, Turtle's Path, so it's right there. You come back and you don't know where the piece 3 is. Obviously because you haven't read a hint. Don't go and get this. There is a really high chance that you've got a piece over in the 3-head wall. So you need to look. There's a piece here. Oops. A piece there, as you can see. There's a piece here, piece under 2 chins, and there's a piece running around here. That's if it's a piece 3. If there's a piece 2, there's also 2 on the head, one on a tier, and one as a coconut just here. But yeah, as you can see, you'd get that. So in many situations, like if you're just passing by the 3-head wall, you are going to want to look for free pieces. So like for example, there's one right here, floating with butterflies. So say if you are, typically you would go there if you've taken a piece 1 that's in here, but there's not many times you need to use it. Coming from here, definitely. Say if it's mostly if you've got a piece 2 that's in the water somewhere, which happens quite a lot when you reset big Oasis piece 1s, and you don't want to read a hint. You just want to be like, well, huge. You just want to like, let's go fast over here. It wasn't there, like it wasn't on the whatever you call it, the tree. It's not on the enchanted pillar. It's not floating with butterflies. You jump up. It's not under a chain. You'll see them. You'll get the ping to check that it's here. If you haven't got a ping by like this point, you know it's not there. In which case, you should read a hint. Like you'll typically run around. If you don't get a ping, read the hint and run off. If you have a jail piece, don't worry. Like if you have a jail piece 2, you're going to want to check over this way. You're actually going to want to check for every single possible piece 3 before you go into the jail to get your piece 2. So obviously if it's over back in the big Oasis, you're kind of screwed, it's just a reset. But like if you're doing an X25, you're going to want to go into the Oasis to get them before coming back, just because it's slow to get out. And there's only 4 big Oasis piece 3s like that are up high, so you know, like it's not bad. Here's a clip out you're going to want to know. To get to the jail or the tilted pillar, you kind of want to go diagonally into here. Okay, that was quite bad, I'm good, we do that. And then you're going to want to swim around the right hand side. So now you're back here. So you would keep going over that way if you wanted to go to the tilted pillar area, or you would come over here if you want to get the Oasis. Bonus trick, if you go into Oasis jail over there, don't jump too high because you'll clip back in bounds. Like it's a quick way to just get there. I suppose I'll just demonstrate some. Okay, so this is one you would reset, but I just want to go over like, so while you're climbing up here, if ever you have a piece in this Oasis and you're running over this way, you got to check for this piece here. You'd be surprised how many different pieces can get it. Like huge screen definitely can get it. Blue striped head definitely can get it. You've always got to check for under turtle's face, plants in the shade, piece 3. Don't think there's anything else much to say. Yeah, just various movement. That's the fast way of getting that. So yeah, coming back, just read a hint along the way. And then like, is it a jail piece? Yeah, sure. Ah. This actually makes, in the corner of the room with hieroglyphics, one of the best pieces you can get for the jail. I've literally had a 31 with it before. Just because you've got to hunt for the piece 3 without a radar, but it's fine. So yeah, I don't know, try doing some of this. This is probably useful to most people. Reset big Oasis piece 1s, unless you have a free piece. These are the 3 piece checks that I've shown so at the start, for the 3-head wall, and then do the jail clip out. But if you have a jail piece 2, make sure to look for the other pieces before doing it. So yeah, that's it, cheers.